But let's move into the next topic, Dave. RJ Hampton, maybe we'll be in this topic next year when we do this, but we kind of want to be able to set a baseline for ourselves on a video that we can go back to and be like, all right, were we right or were we wrong in our projections? So we're looking at all this stuff.
How stupid are we going to look in 2 years?
Exactly. I look probably stupid now. You look like you're looking at my hair. Is my hair fucked up?
You got like a little fuzzy stuff. You got it.
Oh, okay,
there was a fuzzy in there.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Is it gone?
Yeah, I think you're good. Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. Anyways, what we are going to do now is we're going to do hit or miss. I set projections, and Dave and I are just going to answer. Are they going to hit or are they going to miss? So like an example, first one, and Dave, you don't have to answer it now.
Yep.
Zion Williamson, projection, MVP. Will he hit that mark or will he miss that mark? So this is pretty much just a way to boil down hot takes into just the most minute detail that we could possibly do.
We're setting a bar for you, and we're calling hits or misses.
And this is as high as we possibly think. This is an achievable bar. Number one picks being MVP, not crazy, right? So that's the thing is we're trying to set bars that are very high, but definitely within reach from where you are selected. So we're not going to be like, MVP for Talon Horton-Tucker, right? No. Hey, maybe that is his ceiling, but probably not going to set it there. But also just to put this out there, I went off and did some research. In the past 10 years, there's been pretty much an average of 3 All-NBA players from a draft. And then there's also been at least 1 All-Star that hasn't made NBA, an All-NBA team. So pretty much 4 All-Stars from each draft over the past 10 years has come out. So that's why I have some All-Stars. In the top 5 are all All-Stars in there. But there's not like a ton of all-stars down below. So if you're like, I do think Rui Hachimura can be an all-star, well then just say hit for his projection. Yeah, that will still work because you think he's just gonna overachieve. But anyways, I think it's gonna be fun. We'll see how it turns out. Yeah. All right. So let's start off with Zion Williamson. Projection MVP. Is that gonna be a hit or miss, Dave?
This is so fucking hard.
In 5 years.
That's the first one to go down. Oh, you're capping it at 5 years?
No, I'm saying in 5 years when we look back at this, because we're not going to look back at this in 10 years. In 5 years when we look back at this, are you going to be like
confident that Zion
sweating?
Is like close on it?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the MVP. I don't think he wins MVP. There's like such a game around it, the drama, the controversy. If every year the best player in the league won it, maybe there'd be a guarantee because Zion has that potential to be like the most crazy player in the league.
Most exciting.
Yeah, but I don't know that he'll win MVP.
Yeah, I also put a miss there too, just because I don't know if he will be able to be a good enough passer to win it, and I don't think he's going to be that deadly of a scorer to win it. And that's the thing that we kind of see is being able to fill up the stat line completely. Yes. And I think that he can be a massively impactful player, but I could see him being like a 25, 12, and 5 guy. Now, is that enough to win MVP?
Fat Kevin Love didn't get love for that.
No, but Giannis did. So it's kind of like, but also Giannis ended up being like 27, also one of the best defensive players. So
60-win team. Like, there's a lot that goes into that.
Exactly. And if he wasn't on a 60-win team, James Harden would run away with it. Yeah. So that's the thing where, and Giannis was even being debated for being MVP too. I think all 3 of us picked Harden. Yeah. So that's the thing where I'm going to also lean miss just because I don't know if he's going to be that LeBron or KD-like scorer or that LeBron-like, ball mover like LeBron is.
I mean, or just a point where he can carry a team to 60 wins. I mean, that seems to be, if you're not in the top 3 or 2 of your division, or conference, I should say.
Can he carry the Pelicans to that? Because that's the one player that we know for sure that's the team he's going to. Yeah. I don't know if he can do that on the Pelicans. And maybe, we'll see, 6 years from now, like it's
Anthony
7
Davis
years.
is gone.
Yes,
and,
I'm saying like maybe in 7 years we'll see like him leaving, demanding a trade like Anthony Davis.
Don't put that on him already.
No, but I'm saying like that's the way that he would be away from New Orleans. Like, and for the next 7 years for sure he's going to be in New Orleans. Can he bring New Orleans to that level and win MVP? I'm kind of iffy on it. All right. Let's move now to the next one. Ja Morant, All-NBA. You clearly are very vocal about this.
I wrote the word hit 3 times for those who obviously don't have access to this sheet. All-NBA, there's enough spots in there where he hits every bar on that stat line. He is an excellent rebounder for the point guard position, amazing facilitator, and a good scorer, which I don't know. I don't want to name drop here, but I was watching a group of people talk about him, and I think they termed it as a left-handed, like he's a natural righty, but he shoots with his left hand or natural righty, whatever.
Ambidextrous?
Yeah. He is ambidextrous, it feels like, but he's shooting wrong-handed, Ben Simmons-esque.
Yeah.
It was the Ringer. I was trying not to name him, but I'm like, I clearly lost where I was trying to talk. So
yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Ringer on their 2.0, they dropped that line. I was like, his shot's not that bad. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but they Kevin O'Connor, they've got it clearly in their minds. They're like, hey, this is what it is. But I think that he has got the stat line. I think he's going to have the work ethic. I think he's going to continue to grow his game. And if he's going to end up in Memphis, he's going to have a great career.
I think that he's going to have a great career. I just don't know if he's going to be. I put miss for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if he's going to be all NBA level. And you're right. There's 15 spots for him to possibly make it once.
Technically 6-ish because it's 2 guards.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right. So there's 6 spots because there's 2 guards per team. Definitely, you're pretty much saying, will he be a top 6 point guard?
Yep.
He's going to have to deal with Trae Young.
Yeah, he's
going to have to deal with Luka Doncic.
Yeah, because technically he's a 1 or 2 guard.
He's going to have to deal with De'Aaron. He's going to have to deal with Devin Booker.
Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with possibly RJ Barrett if RJ Barrett ends up playing a lot at the 2. He's more like a 3, so definitely might not be a factor into that. But those are
that's just
guys,
in the last couple of years.
Exactly.
Yikes.
So that's going to be very difficult for him to get into the door, and I think the biggest thing that's going to keep him back from it is we look at the all first team. James Harden, Steph Curry, both guys over 28 points per game scorers at their best. That's why I don't think he's going to reach that level. Then you got to look at the next one, Dame Lillard and Kyrie Irving, both prolific scorers.
Yep.
And then you look at the next one, Russell Westbrook, who's averaged a triple-double over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And Kemba Walker, another prolific scorer.
Yeah, I don't think Kemba deserved it this year, but that's just me. I'm on the Bradley Beal fucking fan
Okay,
train.
but even then, prolific scorer.
Yeah.
Over 24 points per game.
Yep.
I don't know if he's at that level. And
yeah,
I think
you're on the record on that one.
And if we're comparing these guys, John Morant versus Trae Young, at least for the guys that are probably the most similar out of the last year's draft and this year's draft, being John Morant and Trae Young due to their passing abilities. I mean, Trae Young's clearly a better passer.
And he's got unlimited fucking range.
He's also a better scorer.
Yep.
So I think Trae Young would probably be in that first NBA tier.
But Trae Young only plays one side of the basketball.
But I don't think Jazz going to be a lockdown defender.
Still, the fact that he's not 5'11" with no effort on defense is going to count for something.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's going to be a miss, though. I think it's going to be close. I think he's going to be a top 10 point guard, but I don't know if he's going to be top 6.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
It's gonna take it out of there for
me.
And
plus, Memphis, it's another thing. Mike Conley, we talk about how he is the most disrespected. Always snubbed. Uber talented, never going to get the credit.
All of those guys also made the playoffs, too.
Yeah.
I think maybe did Kemba? No, Kemba didn't.
Kemba did not.
Kemba was the only one.
Yeah.
But Kemba also was like Jesus for the first 2 months. So I think that's a big part, too. I don't know if Memphis is going to make the playoffs. I hope they do, though, because it'd be a fun team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move to the next one. This one kind of surprised me. RJ Barrett, All-NBA, hit or miss. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, I wanted to go miss here. All season I've been leaning into the guy, but I think I just hit that point in the year where it's like, I've watched so much tape of you. I've watched you play every game way too much at this point. And I think that if he ends up going to New York, there's a good chance that he ends up being, a 20-plus a point game score, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, somewhere in that range. And I'm like, that's borderline, borderline All-NBA. Or I'm sorry, borderline All-NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's a chance he can get there. A lot of this is going to depend on, the Anthony Davis shenanigans. But fit-wise, I think if he goes to that team in New York, the door is open for him. Opportunity is just like, dude, you can go light it up. So I think he can put down a ridiculous stat line early on in his career if they are unable to pull the trigger on Anthony Davis. Even if he's playing, Robin to a Kevin Durant in New York, he's got scoring talent in bunches. And if he continues to develop his game and becomes a little bit smart about his shot selection, the ceiling doesn't exist.
That's my same thinking too. So I have hit on that too. Also, Sean Marion apparently made a fucking All-NBA team. So my faith's in RJ.
Sean Marion was pretty good.
He was a great two-way player, no doubt. But I think RJ can put up more points than good old Sean. The good old Matrix can. Also, fucking what's his face was really close to making the the All NBA team, Donovan Mitchell, which was not deserved at all. That dude did not deserve to be near an All NBA team this year.
If you could cut his season into thirds, his last third, he was fire. The first half of the year, he did not have a shot. He wasn't healthy. I know it's not. I know I'm moving the benchmark here, but
here's the thing. This is what my comparison.
Yeah,
I think RJ can just be a better, bigger version of Donovan Mitchell.
Oh damn!
Maybe just a little worse
defensively.
Defensively, yes, but I think offensively they can still be same level.
I like it.
So
I like it. This is unexpected hot take in this episode.
Hey, dude's been my number 2 on my big boards.
No, but I mean, like, the Donovan Mitchell thing, because I didn't even pull that out.
I mean, the dude's fucking talented. So
yeah,
let's move to the next one. Darius Garland, All-Star, hit or miss.
I'm gonna go miss on this one. I have so many questions about his size, about what he's gonna end up being, whether his upper end. Everybody wants to crown him as, he could be the next Dame, but at the same time, we've seen so many of these, 6'3", 6'2" guys come into the league who are great scorers in college, but not be able to translate that at an elite level at the NBA. So yes, he could be, an excellent 2-guard or, maybe even point guard, but he doesn't have a complete tool set. We haven't seen enough out of him that gives me the feeling that, like, yeah, this guy's going to be an all-star, and that's a fairly exclusive club as well. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm going to miss too, just for all the same reasons. And I think that if he goes to Los Angeles, it's going to be inherently more difficult for him to make an all-star team. And you might be wondering, like, well, fans get 50% of the vote. He possibly can get in. But I think the more point I'm trying to make is you're going to be playing next to LeBron. You're going to get credit taken away from you from points that you are scoring. And then also, how much playing time will you be able to get, and will it be enough that garners an all-star vote within the next 3 years or next 4 years? And even then, you're going to be, well, what about him outside of that? Mm-hmm. Well, if he's not playing with an elite, ball mover like LeBron James, I don't know if he can create, like you were saying a little bit earlier. So I think there's a lot stacked in front of him that I will say miss as well. Cam Reddish, all-star, hit or miss?
Yeah, hard miss. I'm sorry. It's like, we talked about this guy was one of the worst volume shooters in college basketball. Yeah. He went to a blue blood school. He underperformed. He had his moments. No one can take that away from him, but I can't put an all-star tag on a player who I haven't seen, upper-end rotational player on yet. Yeah. Like, right now, he is, borderline, sixth man. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, he's probably going to start just due to the fact that he is a rookie, and you want to give your rookie time to go out there, and I think that's the right move. But he has not shown me that he can be anywhere close to an all-star yet, so that's a tough sell. I'm
going miss too, just because for exactly everything you said.
Oh, come on, give me something.
The reason why is just because you look at his body of work and it's pathetic.
Yeah,
like it's just straight up pathetic. We've talked about it on this podcast, or not this podcast, but the other podcast, the Fast Break podcast. So definitely go check that out. Any episode, because I'm always trashing Cam Reddish.
It's not hard to miss.
Potential is an all-star.
Yep.
But I think there's a big gap from his ceiling to his floor.
Right.
Like we're talking about a big ass house with Cam Reddish's potential.
I mean, the kid's got great defensive talent, house. And he has a fairly good looking shot motion. Yeah. But the problem is it does not go in consistently.
A decent enough amount. Like it wasn't horrible.
But the problem is that's at a college level on a catch and shoot, which usually people are multiple percentage points better on catch and shoot shots than creating their own. The big argument on the counter side is, yeah, but Cam could do it himself as a creator in high school. Give him the chance to do it again at the NBA level, and we'll see what happens. So question marks there, but I've got too many question marks to call him a projected all-star.
I think Cam could be a guy that if he's going to be an all-star, it's going to be after 3 okay years in the league, and then he's going to work his ass off his 4th year, and then people are going to be like, oh, shit. And then that 5th year, he's going to take like some massive leap.
Breakout,
right near the end of his rookie year contract.
Paul George-esque, maybe.
Flip it up. Yeah. I mean, that's been the top-end comparison to him. Yeah, it would be like Paul George. Let's move to the next one, Coby White. Top 10 point guard. We're going in the order of our last NBA live mock draft, so not all of these are in order of a big board. Yep. So that's why Coby White is going to be top 10 point guard, and the next one, Jarrett Culver, is going to be an all-star projection. Coby White's be more taken because of fit, being the Suns at 6. He's a 6th guy we're talking about. So Coby White, top 10 point guard. Hit or miss?
I've got it as a miss here, and this isn't for several reasons. One, and I mentioned this just briefly before we started recording, a lot of a lot of the things I'm hearing are that he actually is mocking closer to a shooting guard or, a combo guard, which we've been saying combo guard for a while now, but a lot of interesting conversation about, whether he would fit better as an off guard, not taking primary ball handling responsibilities, but, he can still step up if needed. So that asterisk the point guard role. But on top of that, he has great speed, good ability to drive. My big question just comes down to, he's shorter than we expected. He's got a negative wingspan, so defensively he's not going to be great, which is already a knock against you. But if you can score at an elite level, which, again, we saw him good, but how good are you as a North Carolina player in the NBA? Which I hate to do that to people because, it's not your fault that former North Carolina players for the last X years have not been able to produce at the NBA level, but, there is something about that system where you're able to produce in college and, maybe Roy gets the best out of you sometimes, but when it comes to the NBA level, for one reason or another, you're not able to hit at that level. So I've got a couple of concerns around him, not solely on his shoulders, but there's several enough around it. Red flag.
Yeah, when we look at the top 10 point guards in the top 10 landscape now, and obviously it's going to be much different when he's well into his career.
Yeah.
But the thing that we see from these guys is the ability to be near a 18 to at least 22 point per game scorer, good on both ends of the floor, a la Drew Holiday, Mike Conley. And this is just for the low bar, not an elite scorer, just your 9 and 10 best point guards.
Yep.
Being able to be good on both ends of the floor and being a good facilitator, and I think he has at least one of those skills. So maybe he will be a 22 point per game scorer in the league. Maybe. But I don't think he's got that elite or even good, defensive skills.
Yeah.
On either end. And I don't know if he can be that great facilitator that you do want in a point guard. So that's why I'm also going to say miss here. Jarrett Culver, All-Star. I'll take this one. Unfortunately, it's the fucking We Agree podcast again. I have hit. You have hit. I think we're just going into the fact that we believe that his work ethic is so fucking good.
He's made such huge strides early in his career. Going high school to college and college year 1 to college year 2, being able to fill that gap left by Zaire Smith, being able to take over as a primary ball handler at times, taking over from Kerwin Roach, who, he was still there. It was just the role responsibility was definitely split very much so.
Kerwin Roach.
Right?
Texas.
I'm confusing. I'm sorry. I'm confusing point guards at this point.
You're good.
I am fried.
But the thing with Culver is I don't think he's going to be a starting all-star. I think he's going to be one of the last guys on the fucking team. I think he's going to make it, but it's going to be one-off thing. Because I think he's going to be a very good two-way player.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be one of those years like the Atlanta Hawks where every single player in that starting lineup just they're just going to dominate
basketball.
I think he's going to be. I don't think he's ever going to be an elite player. I just think that he's going to be very good and he's going to be noticed, every now and then.
Yeah.
That's what I think of Jarrett Culver. And people are saying Butler-esque. I think he's going to be worse than Butler, but Butler's made multiple All-Star games, All-Star teams, and he's gonna for a couple more years now. I think Culver will be able to work and put himself in the conversation, but I think he'll always be the bridesmaid and never the bride, except for a couple years.
Matt Mooney was the name. I don't know why I went to Kerwin Roach, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's right conference, Big 12.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next one. Sekou Doumbouya, 10-year starter. I think I'd compare this probably to you're looking at your Nick Batums. These guys are good. These guys are consistent. These guys have been in the league for a while. They've been on multiple starting rotations. They've gotten big contracts, but maybe they're not all-star levels like Batum might not be. Where would you put Sekou Doumbouya on that? Hit or miss?
10-year starter. I've got him as a miss here. I know you're incredibly high on him. I want to be high on him, but it's so hard. And even 10 years, I started looking up careers of Euro players, and you mentioned Batum. You look up Boris Diaw, guys like that in that mold, and for every Nick Batum and Boris Diaw, there's another guy taken, maybe not as early in the draft as we're looking at for Sekou, but there's a high flake rate for Euro players. I can say that confidently. So I think that's a big ask. He could absolutely hit the floor running and come in and be a stud at the 4 and be in the league for 10 years. But I think that line in the sand of the upper echelon of starters, for long term, it's a risky one.
The reason I have
spicy
him hitting
meatball man
is I don't think he's an upper echelon player exactly, but I think that he's going to hit mainly because you mentioned I think he's probably going to play the 4.
Yeah.
And I think his stroke is going to keep him in a starting role. I think that's the biggest thing that's going to make sure he stays around for that long. And maybe he even, surpasses that role, but I think that he can definitely hit 10 years at the lowest just because of his stroke, his size, and his ability to get to the bucket. Maybe it'll take him 2 years to get to a starting role, but if we're talking from him 20 to 30 starting 10 years, I could definitely see that happening. So I have it as a hit. Let's move to the next one. DeAndre Hunter, 10-year starter. Do we even have to talk about it?
The dude is the most
tried and true 10-year starter. If you're looking at a guy who is just like, Robert Covington,
but ready-made.
Opposite of Robert Covington, who didn't go through the G League, this is him.
Yeah, he's got everything you want in an NBA player. He is selfless. He is smart. He is old enough to not be, a problem to your team, especially if you're trying to compete for something early on in his career, where he's being taken, probably not a problem. But there's nothing to really hate on his game about. There's just also nothing that makes you go, that kid's got that next gear to hit that next level. So I think 10-year starter, he is just going to come and fit the role like a glove and be a 3-and-D wing.
This one breaks my heart, Dave. Goga Bitadze, top 10 center projection.
Miss.
No.
Miss.
Centers suck.
And I don't know what a center is going to be in 10 years.
That's the thing. It's going to be Goga fucking Bitadze, dude.
So top 10 center. And I was trying to find our rankings from this past offseason to see kind of who we had there so we could toss out some names. I literally can't remember the name of that file, though.
Positional rankings.
It's literally just called positional rankings. Really? I thought it was buried in a tab as something.
It's positional rankings, right?
I'll take a stab.
I'll look.
You look.
You talk.
So Goga, you're a guy. You're higher on the Euros this year than me, which is kind of fun because last year I was so much into Luka that there was a problem.
You got me in the hype,
Yeah.
I had one Impossible Burger, and now I'm like, fuck, I want all Impossible Burgers.
Like, who needs meat anymore, right?
Exactly.
He's got an interesting game. He's playing against grown men. We've seen, again, the case for him is the line of success is there. We've seen guys come over, take the same path as far as team and performance and what he can show us, and he's got all the tools. There's nothing in his toolkit that really scares me. He's got good size. He's got decent feet. And offensively, solid. Defensively, there's some room to grow, definitely. But there's nothing that goes like, this guy's got like terrible basketball IQ. He's not like committing the worst, most atrocious fouls out there. So I think he'll be a good center. It's just once you hit that 10 to 20 range of centers, you start asking questions, and it's coin flip range.
We'll read it off, all right? Also, the fact that Jokic is only third in this list is
going to be a little embarrassing.
But whatever. No, it's not embarrassing. It's Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, which is just fucking wrong. Shout out to Jokic. I had him at 2.
Whatever, Embiid's better.
Ricky had him at 4.
He hates Jokic.
Disgrace. You had him at 6.
I hate Jokic more. I was talking to Jake too much during the summer.
Anthony Davis was 1. Joel Embiid was 2. Jokic was 3. 4 was DeMarcus Cousins. 5 was Rudy. 6 was Cat. 7 was Al Horford. 8 was Capella. 9 was old-ass Marc Gasol. 10's DeAndre Jordan. All right? So
yeah.
I think he could be pushing that at his best. Because then you look, 11's Drummond.
Yeah.
12's Adams. 13's DeAndre Ayton coming straight out of college. 14, Dwight Howard. 15 Cantor, and then 16 Nurkic, who's probably top 10 now.
Yeah,
and that's
100%.
The thing is, I look at those two guys, Cantor and Nurkic. If Cantor could play defense, he'd be top 10.
Oh my god, yeah.
And Nurkic is pretty much Cantor.
Shit, the toughness through the playoffs. I'm tempted to just put him there. I mean, that series was insane.
And Nurkic too is just he's up there as well.
Yeah.
So
shit, even Adams now at this point jumps DeAndre Jordan for me.
Jumps Jordan, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the thing is where I think that he can be a good two-way center for you. I think that he's not going to be a negative for you either way, and I think that he's going to be, this is going to be such a thin position that he's going to be easily be a top 10 center.
You've already, out of the names you mentioned, start thinking about what makes them special, and obviously Anthony Davis is fucking Anthony Davis, but the offense and defensive skill sets, Cat, so gifted offensively. You talked about DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, but we're not saying
I'm just saying, like, when you think about even when you mention DeAndre Ayton, like, he's a physical monster, but his offensive game is what puts him there. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I wonder, like, is that offensive game? DeMarcus Cousins, completely offensive game. He's so well-rounded, can distribute, can score, can rebound. Like, it's these guys who can do it all. And you see the old guys like DeAndre Jordan, who is the rim runner, Clint Capella, rim runner, even Andre Drummond, a guy who putting up 18 rebounds a game, like old school center, but like liability. So we don't value it as much because when it comes down to crunch time, those guys can get run off the floor. So I wonder if because we're seeing a shift in play styles, the value may not be there for coaches, for guys like us who like to, look at the game differently.
Well, here's the thing is, look at those guys and look at all the two-way guys.
Yeah.
And the two best centers are both great two-way guys, and Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
There's not any dominant two-way players down below. There's Clint Capella, who's really good defensively and really fairly limited offensively.
He can catch, baskets right here and do that.
Rudy Gobert's the same way. Where I think Goga has more of a developed offensive game where he might not be great defensively, but I think he can be still effective defensively.
You've got him as basically like a scuffed version of Jokic right now, right? Is that a safe comp?
Because Jokic is completely different.
Okay.
Jokic is an old fucking ballgame.
Okay.
I think he's more scuffed. I think he's better offensive, and then worse offensive. If you combine Steven Adams and Enes Kanter, you'd get Goga Bitadze.
Oh wow, that'd be an amazing center.
Yeah. Well, but like worse both ways.
Okay.
Like if
he's a worse version of Steven Adams.
If you watered down Enes Kanter's offense and you watered down Steven Adams' defense, you'd get Goga Bitadze. And I think that's top 10 center. Because you're getting a guy who can contribute on both ends.
Depends how much watered down, because then it starts screaming just another guy. That's my thought. And it depends on how much, and we'll see. Centers, we see it every year. There's guys, we joked around about Bam being, like, could he be better than Bam? Well, Bam's like a 6'9" center who is just athletic as all get out.
Yeah, we got through 10, so let's get through the next 20. So let's speed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Here, 1 second. I'm going to fix the camera. I'll throw this one off first. Tyler Herro, though, pretty much I just put JJ Redick / Kyle Korver, hit or miss.
Generic white guy, 3-point shooting comps. Miss. Those guys, it's funny, but like those guys are like all-time great shooters. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind. Kyle Korver, incredible benchmark. He's one of the best shooters of all time. JJ Redick is a guy who has gotten better every year.
Arguably, that's the only reason they're still in the league.
Oh, 100%.
So that's the thing that's the only way I see Tyler Herro make it in the league. I think it's a miss.
But those are two, top 10 shooters of all time, and that sort of was where I get to the point of like, Tyler Herro is a good shooter, and everything lines up with him. Getting better. That 3-point percentage is going to increase. His spacing increases as he gets to come off ball more. But that's a high benchmark for me. If you're saying the line is, if he's going to be in the league purely because he can shoot the three, then sure. But I'm going elite shooter, then no.
Yeah, I have him as a miss too. I don't think he's going to be an elite shooter like JJ or Kyle Korver.
You traded up for him.
Because the Sixers. Here's the thing. Again, we're talking about fit. I don't think Tyler Herro is going 11. I don't think the 76ers are going to trade up from 24 to 11. But if they do, him being on that team with those players around him, I think that's going to be a good fit. And that probably is the best place for him to end up becoming. It would be a great fit, yeah. So let's move to the next player, PJ Washington, long-term starter. So maybe not 10-year starter like DeAndre Hunter and Sekou Doumbouya's comps, but just a long-term starter, guy that can, pop in every now and then, like a Jeff Green, pretty much. So long-term starter for PJ Washington.
Good idea. I think I'm going to go miss on this one. And
here's the reason my guy's a hit. Because I literally compared him to Jeff Green. I compared PJ Washington to Jeff Green when we did comps with John. So straight up, I just said, this guy's Jeff Green.
The problem is Jeff Green is hilariously inconsistent. And like he has those games where he's like, man, he's like a mini LeBron out there. And then he has those other games where like, oh, it must be a Wednesday.
But here's the thing. Is Jeff Green still in the league? Jeff Green just recently started. And he just recently started. So
I'm surprised you didn't go with your boy Marooks. He's like Marooks Morris.
Marooks is decent, though. Like, Marooks is more like a 10-year starter.
I know.
Where Jeff Green's like a long-term starter where, like, at 33, Jeff Green can still start for the Washington Wizards, but he's only starting for the Washington Wizards.
Fair enough. I think PJ Washington's going to have an interesting game. His 3-point improvement's been awesome. I just don't know if that's going to be a long-term thing for him, especially, like, if he's small and going to play the 3, or if he's going to be playing the 4 out there. He's got the tools physically to do it, 100%. He's got great wingspan, good size. It's just I'm concerned about fit for him a lot.
Let's move to the next one. Bol Bol, long-term starter, hit or miss?
Hit.
Miss.
I mean, 100%. This kid's
there's no
uber talented.
He's uber talented, but the dude is 208 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, if I added 30 more pounds, I'd be as fucking big as him. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I think I could push this guy around because I'm up to his, like, his hips, but he has no center of gravity, so I think I could just push him over with my 175-pound ass. Like, come on. There's no way he's going to be able to stay healthy.
Preview of our next segment.
Miss.
You're not getting me off that hill.
Nicky Alexander-Walker, Elite 2. You're not getting me off this hill. He's literally... We're going to debate on whose hill is higher. Nicky Alexander-Walker, Elite 2A player.
I've got him as a miss here. He's going to be very good. I think Elite is a stretch offensively for him. I think defensively he's got the tool set, which is funny because a lot of people see it the other way around, but... Me personally, I think that defensively he's got the tool set. Offensively, I'm not sure what he's going to be able to put together if he's working off ball, if he's working on ball, what his primary role is going to be. He's going to dictate a lot of that. But elite, I mean, like Drew Holiday, we're talking elite two-way player.
Yeah. Maybe I put this up too high.
Yeah, that's why I was.
I kind of screwed
really
up.
good two-way player.
My thing was more like. I think of him like what I was gonna say is I think he's gonna be a miss because if you look at the guy that I was thinking of was Marcus Smart.
Oh, okay.
If we look at Marcus Smart is an elite defender, but he's not that good offensively. And I think that Nicky Alexander-Walker might be good offensively and might be good defensively, but he's not going to be elite like Marcus Smart is defensively. I think he's just going to be good. I don't think he's going to be a guy that really stands off and out of the page. I think he could have a very similar career to, when you start a sentence and you're like, man, I'm going to have a really good comparison, and then you just totally
drop
flies,
it. Yeah.
It flies out the window.
Yep.
You want to bail me out?
No. I want to pile on a little bit because you know what's funny about Marcus Smart? He's actually getting better offensively.
Ricky Rubio's. No, yeah, like a Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio's not that good offensively. He's a great passer, but he's got a really good skill, a really great skill offensively. He's a good defender, but he's not elite. So I would say like a Ricky Rubio, just a bigger Ricky Rubio.
All right,
and not as good as a passer.
That's
enough. What I'm saying. I put him at a bench guard, but he's not going to be elite.
All right. I mean, that's solid then. I would agree to those terms.
That was the first name that came to my mind.
I don't know.
Like a Sean Livingston. Is Sean Livingston elite? Fuck no. But, he's good.
Yeah. He's pretty good. Pretty good. Marcus Smart, though, actually got better. I mean, that 3-point shot's coming along. 36% this year. I'm just saying.
He's got two elite skills. Or two good skills. He could shoot the three and defend like a motherfucker.
Fair enough. So Nasir Little then.
Oh, I thought you were going to go more on Nasir.
I literally just want to move on. I am done with NAW.
What, was that bad?
No, I just think it's funny that I want to leave on the note of you leaving it as Ricky Rubio.
Fuck. All right, whatever. Nasir Little, long-term starter, like PJ Washington or Bol Bol.
It's really hard to see this right now. If you squint your eyes real hard, you can see an NBA elite starter right there long-term. Mm-hmm. But
if I put elite defender, would you put hit?
No.
What would say hit for you? Because I have him as a miss too. I think this
average NBA career, which if you look up the average career, only a couple years in the league. So average, not so hard to hit. Especially coming off that rookie contract, somebody else will take a swing at you. Yeah. You got good size. You're just not. You haven't shown us enough to make me say, yeah, you're gonna be a long-term starter here. Sorry, right. I've seen prospects like you.
Next one, Kevin Porter Jr., offensive supernova. Hit or miss.
You used the term. I could not drop a hit on Kevin Porter Jr. being the offensive supernova. Terrence Ross is the official holder of the title right now, but I will allow it to be bestowed upon Kevin Porter Jr. in this scenario because he could be insanely gifted offensively. I mean, again, my default line, if you've never watched Kevin Porter Jr. play before, if you look at his highlights, he could be James Harden-esque. If you watch the whole game, you're like, where'd that guy go? Because he was doing amazing things, and then he just disappeared after 5 minutes. And I don't understand why. And it's USC and their love of Benny Boatwright, and I don't understand it offensively, what the fuck they were doing. Point being, he could be really gifted offensively. He's got he's got good handles, step back move. He's got a great offensive IQ. So I'm gonna go with hit.
I'm going miss just because I don't think he can be on the floor. I'm concerned that he's not going to be that great defensively. I don't think he's going to be consistent enough to get minutes. I think that's going to be the killer for him. Is he extremely talented?
He's got
he's got everything
length,
that you want except a good-looking shot and consistency. And that's the thing that kills NBA careers. He looks like an NBA player, but he doesn't play like one. And that's a fucking problem for an NBA player. Like, plain and simple. Just because Chris Dunn looks like an NBA point guard doesn't mean he is an NBA point guard.
But he was so good at Providence year over year over year.
Because he was like 90 playing against, he was like Uncle Drew out there.
So was Malcolm Brogdon. And Malcolm Brogdon's a really good basketball player.
I guess. All right, next one. Brandon Clarke, defensive monster, hit or miss?
I'm going hit. Like the kid has a knack. It is born. It is him. There's nothing like I know he tries really hard.
Here's the thing: is I think it's a hit too.
But it's like natural. It looks natural at times.
Is he more like Mitchell Robinson defensive monster or like Rocco defensive monster or like Marcus Smart? Like which vein is he? Is he like elite of his position like Marcus Smart? Is he just blocking the shit out of everything like Mitchell Robinson, or is he just a well-rounded defender like Rocco?
I feel like
maybe some people a la Jake are going to be upset that I'm not putting Rocco in the fucking Marcus Smart category, but
Rocco plays great team defense, individual one-on-one. I give the tip of the hat to Marcus Smart, and I think that's closer to what Brandon Clarke will be. I think one-on-one defender, he has people. He puts the clamps on people. Like, it is awesome to watch. He also can help out. His help defense is pretty quality too. So
yeah, that's why I think he's Rocco, or more like Rocco.
He has it, but because I think one-on-one, he is in a different league, man. That's my thing. But the question is one-on-one, who's he guarding in the NBA? I don't know.
Players at Rocco. As John would say, he's 6'8". You are who you defend. I think he's defending threes.
Okay.
Let's move to the next one. Rui Hachimura. I put Diet Giannis for Ricky.
I can't.
Sorry, Rui Hachimura.
You got to really sell it. Ha-cha-cha-cha.
I don't want to do it. It's a stupid
He's a leprechaun. You got to ha-cha-cha-cha.
It's a stupid fucking bit. Diet Giannis, hit or miss?
I'm going miss. I like his game, but comparing him to someone who's literally so unique in Giannis' skill set, no, I can't do it.
Well, here's the thing. 240 calories in a 12-ounce diet in 12-ounce Pepsi. You know how many it is in a Diet Pepsi?
How many?
0. So he could be a Diet Giannis just being horrible. Next one, KZ Okpala.
You're really selling me on this.
KZ Okpala, Diet Giannis 2. Hit or miss?
Also miss.
I put hit. Because I think that he's going to be Diet in the fact that he can't shoot. And I think he's going to be similar to Giannis in that fashion.
It's funny because he has a broken shot, but he actually made a decent percentage of them.
Yeah,
low volume, but
also catch and shoot.
Yep.
I think too, he's going to be like Diet Giannis in the fact that long, lanky boy, can play defense, can dish the ball out. I don't think he's going to be like a 27-point scorer. I think he can average like 10 points a game. I think he's more like Evan Turner, and Evan Turner is definitely not like Diet Giannis, but he's bigger than Evan Turner.
I mean, what's the difference then between Rui and KZ? Is it just the age at that point? Because like size-wise, they're similar. I know Rui's got a little more size on him, but
KZ Okpala's got a better handle. I think that I can see him more as a facilitator, and I think that he's more confident with the basketball, where Rui Hachimura still seems like he's a deer in headlights.
Okay. The facilitator I've got questions about. That's my big thing, because everybody says he should be, but he is not, and he was not a great facilitator in college for the majority of those games. So.
I'm not saying Giannis was only dropping 5 assists?
Yeah, only 5.
Yeah. So that's the thing is I think that, if KZ can come in and, do what Diet Giannis would do and get 10, 7, and 3, that's a hit. I think that's a hit in my mind. I think Diet Giannis too.
I'll allow it, man.
Like a bench Giannis. Jaxson Hayes, top 10 center. Hit or miss?
I'm going to say hit on this one, surprisingly. This is weird for me because we talked about this earlier and what's the center going to be? And, I mentioned phasing out, old school centers, but I still think that Jaxson Hayes defensively is scary as all get out. And if he figures out the other half of that ball, he's so young. There's uber potential.
There's definitely the mold for him to do it. I mean, we just talked about the top 10 centers. Rim running centers who play defense are all in there, and that's what Jaxson Hayes could develop into. I put miss just because I'm iffy on it. I don't know if he's going to develop into his body, and I don't know if he's going to maintain that defensive ability. I think that maybe he had a really good season, but also didn't play that many minutes, and the fact that he was blocking that many shots and wasn't in foul trouble that much, I think that might change a little bit. I'm iffy on his true defensive potential. And another thing too is I think he's pretty small, and if we're comparing Texas centers like Jarrett Allen plays very big, and has been able to carry over that defense. I don't know if Jaxson Hayes has that yet. I'm a little bit worried about his size. Let's move to the next one. Grant Williams. I don't know why Ricky picked him here. Elite role player, hit or miss.
He literally picked him because he saw I had like my own big boards for each team.
Well, then why'd you have him so high?
Because I think he could be.
He's a good fit in Utah.
I actually have him on the Celtics, but
okay.
As a replacement power forward on the bench because he can pass out a low post and he's smart and he is older and it's a direct fit. But in my mind, I think that at the end of the day, elite role player, no. I think a pretty good to he's going to be a seventh man. Is that okay? Like, you said Sean Livingston. And I think Sean Livingston is more of a six man. I think the drop between 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, somewhere in that range. Like, yeah, he's not gonna be the first guy off the bench, but he's a solid player. And I don't know that his shot needs so much help. If he can get his shot down from distance, money. Yeah, absolutely earns his way in. And he's been getting better, but he lives at the stripe. He's undersized. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get those opportunities at the NBA level. And he won't be able to pull the same shit he's pulling on 18-year-old kids as well.
Yeah, I'm too worried about his size to put him as a hit. I don't think he's going to be able to do what he was able to do in Tennessee. And I think the fact that he was so smart really helped him against...
And surrounded by really great talent.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is being in against NBA-sized guys who know their craft so well, and you're going to be on a worse team. You're not going to have that same camaraderie, and you're not going to be one of the leaders out there. Maybe he could develop into one of the leaders. I won't put that past him, but I'm going to say miss because I think there's too much stacked against him to be that. Maybe he could be a bench guy for a couple of years, but I don't think he's going to last too long. Naz Reid, elite bench scorer, hit or miss?
Miss.
What is his projection? Because clearly I have hit for him. This guy's going to put up 15 points per game off the bench.
So you've got him as like Enes Kanter-esque, but with a distance?
I have him as 3-time six-man of the year.
Oh, shit.
I'm kidding. Not. I have him as 4-time six-man of the year.
Yeah,
but
just 4. Okay.
I think he's going to be a stud. I think you put him out there for 20 minutes, you give him the ball on 10 possessions, and he puts up a ton of points.
That's a lot.
It is.
That's a big commitment, Sean.
Well, then when I thought of 15 points, I was like, that's a lot of fucking shots. And he's not going to make all of them. So
Nope, he's not. No, I think that...
Still a hit.
I think he's a bench player. I think he can score some points. I think he can stretch things out. No, not elite bench scorer. He's not in the Lou Will category. Sorry.
All right. Lucas Samanic, elite role player. Elite role player. Hit or miss?
I'm going hit. The dude, I hate it. He's got the basics. He's a good slasher. Finishes all right at the rim. The outside shot needs some work, but at the same time, I'm not terrified of it. He played really well in 5-on-5.
The amount that I saw from his outside shot, I've liked.
Yeah.
Like for a guy that can build it.
Yep.
Like I'm not too like what you said. I'm not scared of it, which means I like it.
And he's got good size and he's pretty athletic. So all of those things combined, yeah, you can be an elite role player or elite rotation player.
Yeah, I think he could be 8th guy, off the or 3rd guy.
Yeah,
off the bench.
like we watched. Rodions came over and like instantly. He didn't hit the ground running, but it was like, dude, you give him minutes, you saw results. Give him more minutes, you saw better results. I was like, oh shit, we might be on something here. Like I think that Luka might be in a similar category.
Talon Horton-Tucker, defensive star, a la Marcus Smart, hit or miss?
I'm hit on him, and I see you are hit on him as well, Sean. Are you coming around on Talon?
I mean,
THT, give me some of that.
I mean, here's the thing: the dude has a 7'2" and a 5th wingspan. Or a half wingspan at 6'4", 6'2", something like that.
Yeah.
And he's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
And I think that he's gonna bring down some of that weight
when he gets into proper conditioning. Yep.
I think it's all there.
He's got PJ Tucker upside, man. Who doesn't love PJ Tucker?
Well, and I think the biggest thing is if he keeps off that weight, he can be an elite defensive player.
Oh yeah.
Where PJ Tucker is a very good defensive player because he can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's elite. Where I think Talon, if he can become mold that NBA body, he can definitely be a defensive star.
Yeah.
Chuma Okeke, elite role player, hit or miss?
I'm I was in love with him, just at the peak of the tourney.
Yeah.
And then he got injured, and I'm still in love with him now. I'm not uber concerned about the injury itself. Yeah, I'm in on him. He's catch and shoot threes. He can be 3 or 4. I'm good with him.
Torn ACL, yikes, miss. That's just hedging my bet.
Fair enough.
Like if he hits, congrats.
No,
to him.
I mean,
I just
that's fine.
yikes for me. Red flag. Keldon Johnson, elite role player, hit or miss.
I'm going miss. He's got all the tools to be one.
See, that's the thing is he's got all the tools. It's an easy hit. He can play defense. He puts in a lot of effort, both
really
defensively and offensively. I think if he puts that effort into a work ethic and builds up his skills and just becomes more of an elite shooter from the outside, and just is able to be a 3-and-D player. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, he's a hit for an elite role player.
I just don't see it. I don't know. There's something. I've fallen out of love with him. He was as high as like 12 for us at times. I mean, 10.
10.
Shit.
Lakers.
Yeah. I don't know. I've fallen out of love with his game. I have fears. I don't think he's going to be in the league for 10 years. There's a lot of concerns.
Mm-hmm. Dylan Windler, elite long-term shooter.
Miss.
He's not a first-round prospect. Ricky made this pick, right?
He did.
Yeah, miss.
Who else?
Love you, Ricky.
It's just I understand why. He was a very good college player, but I think that's what he is a very good college player.
Yeah. I mean, coming out of Belmont, it's not that great of, it's not a powerhouse or anything like that. It's nothing that really eye-popping to me. Daniel Gafford, long-term starter.
Miss.
Why? Because I think it's a hit. I think if we're talking center position, long-term starter, like 10 years, I could totally see him being like, like 20th best, center in the league.
Just but like 4
grabbing boards, catching,
like 4 starters
lobs.
come in the league every year, and at the rate that they roll through them and their longevity of careers, like I just long term anything for a center is hard to say.
I think he's better I think he's like quicker at Davis. Ed Davis has been in the league for fucking forever.
He has been. He's such a good rebounder though. Bruno's a better rebounder than Daniel Gafford is.
Yeah, but I think that Gafford's more athletic. I think he's a better offensive player.
Maybe. I'm not feeling long-term starter.
Last one, Cam Johnson, elite rotation player. I'm surprised by your pick here.
Yeah, fuck it. Like the dude can shoot threes and he is a wing. How do you not get elite rotation player? The volume he shot at I'm just saying, when you can shoot that many threes from that high of a volume, everything checks the boxes. You've been consistent. You've been one of the better players in college. I don't know. I'm in on it. I think he's got talent, and I think that, yes, everybody's got him mocked so late in the draft or, late first or the second. That's because he already is who he is. It is the curse of being an older player in college.
So you're saying he's in competition for the Malcolm Brogdon Award?
I'm saying he could be, yeah.
All right. I'm saying miss just because although he could be a good three-point shooter, I don't think he's going to get enough minutes because I think he probably can get played off the floor defensively. So we'll see. All
right.
But let us know your hits and misses for all 30 of the players that we talked about. Again, this is based off of our live mock draft that we did on twitch.tv. It is on our YouTube channel, so definitely go check that out. If you haven't already, search the Fast Break mock draft with trades and check that out. Dave, Ricky, and I did that.